Hello everyone, welcome to your next session in IT. So let's begin with some positive quotes. Okay, the first one I like really very much. First one is be stronger than your strongest excuse. So you're stronger than your strongest excuse, and you will know that you have been stronger when you are going to check on how you're feeling. If you're feeling good, that means you have not given in to your excuses. Okay, so keep reminding yourself that I am stronger than my strongest excuse. And the second quote that I like really, it's a beautiful and a powerful quote. The life is like a camera. So you're going to focus, you need to focus on what is important, and you need to capture the good times, the good memories, and remember that because it really boosts up our motivation, lifts us up, and develop from the negatives. We cannot say that there is nothing negative in this life, but we cultivate our strengths from it. And well, sometimes things don't work out. So, what do? We'll take another shot and try again. Okay, on that note, let's start positive. Let us sit straight, have a notebook and pen in our hands. Okay, if you have any doubts, note it down, jot it down, and then you can ask it later. It's going to be a short topic today. We are going to see inline frames and web hosting. Okay, so we'll go one by one on each of those topics. The first one, inline frames. Now, when we're talking about inline frames, let's just consider frames in general. Okay, you some of you might have a photo collection at your home. Okay, or you'll be very familiar with photo frames. Now here is a collection of photo frames. Okay, each of these is containing a different photograph representing a single family. Okay, so each of these frames are holding a different photographs representing a single family. Keeping this concept in mind, what are frames in HTML? Okay, so similarly, frames are divisions, are the way we are dividing our browser window and displaying different information about the same content. Let's say, for example, okay, in here, this browser window has got a frame 1. Okay, in that frame 1, I will provide the information that is needed for Goonj festival. Okay, I'll say these games are going to be played, and next in frame 2 I'll specify maybe the team 1 that is playing, who is the group leader, who are the members of this team. Okay, in frame 3 I might specify another team name. Okay, so this is how we are depicting different information about the same content in a single browser window with the help of frames. So what is an inline frame? When we say inline frame, it means it will look like this. Okay, so this is a single browser window, although I don't have a border for this. This is a single browser window in which the first file contains a heading, okay, and the iframe tag, which we'll see next. Okay, and this course's content is placed in my second file. Okay, so I embed my second file into the first file, and that is how I will be able to view in a single browser window both the HTML documents. So here, inline frames is used to embed another document within the current HTML document, if you remember the example. Okay, and what tag are we going to use? We are going to use the iframe tag. Okay, and we are going to see the attributes next. In general, where do we use inline frames? So when we create websites, we'll use inline frames to advertise. Okay, the website earns business or money or revenue via advertisements. Okay, so these inline frames provide a space for advertisement from external parties. Okay, so this is another example. Okay, this is how your browser window will look like. This is one file which contains this description of HTML iframe demo, and the second file, this is a iframe. This is an inline frame. The second file will contain a Google Chrome. Okay, something about the Google Chrome. So we are embedding the Google Chrome doc into the HTML iframes demo doc. So this is the example. Keep this in mind as we move further. So what are we doing in iframe? In iframe, we are embedding one HTML document into the other. Okay. Now, how do we specify uh, the path of the document that we want to embed, or the name of the document that we want to embed? For that, we need the SRC attribute. Okay, similar to your image tag and SRC attribute is the same way. You will use in iframe the SRC attribute. Okay, so if your file is in the same folder, then you will specify only the name of the file. If your file is placed in another folder in some other path, you will give the entire path in your SRC attribute. Okay, then comes display details like what height, what width you want to give to your iframe. Okay, you will use some value in hundreds, 200s, or 300s, 400s, etc. Next, the name. If you want to specify a name for your iframe, okay, then you can give any name that is relevant to the information that you're displaying. And the final one, SRC doc. SRC doc, suppose you don't want to insert a separate document, but you have certain uh, uh, dis- HTML elements. Okay, suppose you want to display a text in bold, or you want to highlight a certain text. Okay, so then you will use the mark tag, and you will use the bold tag and the text. So all of that HTML code can be provided within SRC doc. Okay, so go through these attributes. It will be helpful for you to do your assignments. Next, let's see the coding part. Okay, now here is your first file. Okay, a heading has been given, a paragraph has been given, and in the first file, okay, I'm specifying iframe. Okay, there is SRC attribute, and it is containing a frame content.html. So my file name, my first file is example.html. The file that I'm embedding is frame content.html, which I'll be showing you next. Okay, then there is height 300, width 300, and I've given a name for the iframe. Nothing specific, I've given ABC. Okay, so your next file, that frame content.html. Okay, here I have a simple HTML document, HTML head, title, body. In the body I have specified certain bold content and a paragraph. That's it. And this is how my output will look like. So there is HTML iframes. This is an example, and this content of the second file will be displayed. So when I save this example.html and frame content.html, the only thing that I'm viewing in the browser is example.html, because my frame content.html is being embedded in my example.html. So there's only one file that I will view in my browser window, and in that single browser window, both the contents of the document will be displayed. Okay, go through this example. I have given the code again for reference. Okay, so this is your assignment. The first file you will create is aboutme.html, which will also contain the iframe tag, which will embed your details.html. The second file should be details.html, which will contain all this bold, I study in Father Agnes Junior College, etc. Go through your example. It's a simple one. You'll be able to do it. And the next assignment is a similar one. Embed and create pages, superhero.html and mypowers.html, because I believe each of you are a superhero. So bring that superhero out today, and you can read this poem. It's a really nice poem. I have a voice and I'm unique. Okay, go through this example that I have already given. It will be a useful and simple one for you to do. So now we have, this is the last part of your chapter 1. Okay, the last topic in your chapter 1. Although there are a few topics remaining, let's just view our web hosting for now. In web hosting, we have created the websites till now. We have used various tags and we have created the HTML document. Okay, now how do we make our website available for other users to view it? Okay, that is how web hosting is done. Web hosting is making the websites available on the internet for other users to view it. Okay, so where are these web pages being stored? Web pages means all these single HTML documents collectively form a website. Where are they being stored? They're being stored in the web server. They're being stored in the web server that are connected to the internet, and the internet has to be up and running so that it can be made available to others. Okay, right now I can think of the best example is YouTube. YouTube is making its site available to any of us who are accessing it so that we can view various videos and information related to it. Okay, now web hosting is the service of providing the storage space. Okay, so all these websites that we are storing on the web server, okay, they need a certain storage space, and then with the help of internet it is being made available to all the users. Now, who are hosting these websites? How do we make these web hosting services available? There are companies, okay, that provide web hosting services, and they are called web hosts. Okay, they own and manage the web servers. Okay, and now we will also see what type of web hosts are available. Okay, so the first one here is given as shared hosting. Okay, where you're sharing, they are providing the domain name for your website. Domain name to your website. That means your website will have a unique name. Okay, when you put it in Google or when you search for it as the URL, it will have a unique name and it will be directed directly to your website. Now, shared hosting is also a cost effective, economical way of viewing websites. Okay, hosting website. The next one is free hosting. In free hosting, you are providing the web host will agree to host your website for free. So your websites will be made available for free, but for a limited period of time. Okay, after which you might have to go in and you see that okay, it is going on well, then you might put up a price for it. You'll have to pay some amount and make your website still continue over the internet. The third one is dedicated hosts. These are paid hosting servers, okay, for large websites. Like for corporates, for companies, they might go into dedicated hosts because they need a good service that is available throughout. So now we come to the last part. There is a short quiz here along with your 7.1 and 7.2 coding of iframes. You will write down this, put in the heading as quiz, 7.3 quiz, write down these statements, write down the answers, underline it. Okay, and submit your assignments to junior college IT 2020 as usual, how you have been doing. Put your subject as roll number and your name, roll number and name, very important. And henceforth you will have to also maintain a IT notebook, because what is happening, each of you are have given your assignments, okay, but I'm sure it is not in one space. Okay, so it is very important that you organize your assignment answers. The best thing to do is take up all the answers that have been given from the teachers, okay, put it in one notebook. And this notebook should also have the heading advanced web designing. Put in the assignment question and answers. And when the college reopens, you will have to submit your IT notebook. And this is a good practice for you to go through what has been done. And if you have any doubts when you're going through that, make sure you ask and clear up all your doubts. Okay, so with this, we come to the end of this session. Thank you very much. All the best and keep going. Stay positive and keep going.